Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shaky McStabber.
And I'm Rylyn Dare, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and tonight I'll be playing Jacqueline Duran of Clan Ventru.
And I'm Lady Merowith, and I'm playing Eleanor Thurston, Clan Malkavian.
I'm Urian, and I'm playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
I'm Gavin, and I play Lamar Cade of Clan La Sombra.
I'm Mickey, and I play Sam Grant, Clan Bruja.
And when we last were with this coterie, they'd had an interesting night. Jackie didn't even get to relay some information she'd gotten from Elysia because there was a bit of a Second Inquisition incident. And our first scene of this evening is actually occurring. Sam had gone to the roof right as Roscoe was leaving the club for the night. Got in his car to head home, back to his haven. Get about a block from the club, Roscoe, before somebody steps in the road right in front of your vehicle. You've met him once before.
Okay.
It's Ben.
I have enough time to stop?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Traffic is not where you could just fly down the road here. You're down in part of the city there. And he just stands there looking at you.
Really? Okay. Hey, Ben. I'll kind of lean out the window. What's up?
I've come to talk.
Well, let's talk somewhere other than the middle of the street. Come, get in.
And he comes over and opens the door and sits down. And as soon as he sits in your vehicle, he looks over at you. You always invite us in, don't you?
It happens that way, yeah.
Don't worry. This time, I'm not going to leave you a gift.
But I was quick to get rid of the other one. It was nice.
That was not nice to do. We left a gift.
I understand that now. I didn't at the time.
Now you don't get another gift.
So What did you want to talk about?
Why did you put our amulet in Mercury?
It was concerning to Eleanor.
It was
And
a
we
gift
didn't-
to her.
Well, again, another thing that we didn't know.
You say this often, as does Eleanor. You know you could fill a lake with the things you don't know.
Interesting choice of words. There's a lot in the lake we don't know about either. So
I know. If you did, you wouldn't be trying to put yourself on the board.
I would rather not be on the board.
It's a little late, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
After what you did earlier?
What are you referencing?
You spoke with the possessed as you thought one?
Oh, yes. Well, it was a test. I wasn't sure because I had found out that, well, you can't possess kindred.
No, we can't. This
And
one isn't
just a set of-
kindred. Not
as
I.
I
Go ahead.
no, I'll be quiet and let you speak.
This one is not kindred, not by what I would call it. This one is not one of your cursed things. Barely has any of your blood in it. You know, it's funny. I was there when you fell. Not when you're kind. I hate you for what you are. I hate you for what your progenitor did.
Would you visit the sins of the father on the children?
Oh, yes. Before the one who started this for your kind. We didn't know what killing was. We learned it from him. And all the atrocities that were committed are at his feet and yours.
There have been a number.
If I were not constrained right now, I would destroy you. But I can't.
Well, there's that. At least I got that going for me for the moment.
Of course. Always the positive one. Pick that up before you destroyed our gift. If you continue to try to speak with your friend, you're going to put yourself in a bad position on the board.
I appreciate the information, but why would you tell me this?
Because we do not wish Eleanor on the board. And you'll find those who play the game frequently bring those with them into it. Your friend works for the one in the lake. She is lost to you. Leave it alone.
You know that's difficult, even though it might be in my best interest.
That has always been your kind's problem. You weren't content. You wanted to make a bigger offering. Killed your brothers. Sins of the father. Leave her alone. Do not get Eleanor put on a board. We are not done with her yet.
Well, it's certainly not in my interest to have Eleanor on the board either. But that is a goal that I can appreciate.
If you wish to get yourself killed, save everyone the trouble and just watch the sun.
I hadn't planned on doing that.
Good.
Might I ask you a question?
I may not answer.
Oh, totally understood. I just wanted to know the nature of the gift you had left that I had so carelessly cast aside.
It was a way to keep you off the board. It was a way to hide you from the one in the lake. You hurt my vessel with that one. Now you won't be able to do it so easily. And now he is mine fully.
I see that.
Tell the one, Eleanor. Her friend is gone.
This will make her extremely unhappy.
Well, I don't like your kind. I don't care.
He wasn't exactly my kind.
No, he wasn't. It was a pale imitation.
Thank you for that.
Tell her. She can't get him back. His soul has been sent to oblivion.
Totally beyond redemption?
It's gone. Were I to leave this body, it would be a shell, devoid of everything.
Well, do you have, while maintaining your presence in that shell, do you have any other advice for staying off the board? That I may help Eleanor stay off the board?
Leave the combatants alone. Let them fight. That might save you for a while. Make no mistake. They won't win. They will fight each other. They will weaken each other. And we will destroy the board. And if we're going to destroy the board, not angering the one I serve is in the best interest for those who wish to keep walking.
Destroying the board, everyone loses with that.
No. No. We undo a problem that should never have happened. The things I could tell you, you wouldn't believe anyway.
You could try me?
No. Your mind couldn't conceive of it. Trust me. From one who was there at the beginning of it all. God is dead. He is no longer part of this world. It is ours now. Pass my message on, please.
I will do so.
Good. And he actually opens your car door and just steps out. I assume you were driving a little bit. Didn't
Yes.
care. Not in the slightest.
Do I see the Ben tumbling in the rearview mirror, or what happens?
No. He hits the ground and just immediately comes to a standstill. Do you have Sense the Unseen? Let me check to see. Double checking. Yes, you do. I'm going to roll that as a hidden roll there because, let me see if you see anything. There was a slight bending of everything when he stepped out of the vehicle. So any way to describe it, it wasn't a bending of light or of the earth. It was a bending of everything.
This has been something I'd experienced training.
Similar,
for a
but
mage?
not.
Okay.
You've never seen this magnitude of It's almost as if the fabric of creation was twisted. Roscoe is left, kind of shocked at the discussion he just had in his truck. And now I think the kindred are going to sleep. And because we just started, I will not make you do a waking rouse roll. But the day after, I believe Lamar and Sam have something to do.
Yes, following night, Lamar will get in touch with Damien as he wants to alert him to the recent issue that he had when he was out with Kathy.
Okay. And I know Sam had said he was going with you for this one. And you get a reply back from Damien. Same place last time. Southside.
Lamar types K, but it's probably Q something. So
Damien is used to it. He's actually not worrying about your response.
And yeah, Lamar will head down to the. Actually, he will contact Sam, let him know that it's set up, and then
down to a bar, isn't it? Bar in Southside.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sam, do you ride in? Do you take one car? Do you take both cars? Do you ride together? I want to know your method of getting there.
I'll ride with Lamar.
Okay. Lamar's still got nice new upholstery in the car because, well, there hasn't been a cat in it destroying it lately. You arrive at a bar down in the South Side. Little hole-in-the-wall place, dingy. Oh, you can't even read the sign out front of it. It says open. But when you arrive there, Damien's actually leaning outside the building up against the wall. And as you've been going through the South Side, you see there's a lot more homeless than you're used to seeing.
Mm.
But you don't see much of the gang activity right now. Seems they've been caught a bit flat-footed after some initial scuffles.
Lamar is going to just, quietly hope that this wraps itself up in the near future, and he's going to get out and approach Damien.
Okay. Sam, you get out with him?
Yeah.
Mr. Cade. Mr. Grant.
Sheriff, nice to meet you.
Good evening, Sheriff.
Let's walk.
Yeah, definitely. I'll walk.
And he starts walking you down the street.
Sam's going to stay a respectful distance out and just kind of pick up sentry mode.
Noticing homeless seem to be a problem down here.
Yeah, they move around the city a lot. I mean, police roused them out of one area. Looks like they picked the South Side for right now. We'll move on.
Yeah, I've heard some reports from some of my police contacts that there's been a bit of gang activity down here. A rise of it.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. You got different groups of bangers thinking that, this is their time to shine.
So,
and then, yeah.
That's not what you called me here to talk about.
No, that's not what I called for.
What do you got?
So, Kathy and I went out the other night, to hang out. And that in of itself, not a problem. But the place we were at, we were having a decent time until some guys in suits walked in. And they basically cited us, and they came at us.
I wondered how long before you would bring this up.
Would have been sooner, but I've been trying to make sure that they weren't following me or anything.
Yeah, I found out that night from Kathy.
Okay. But yeah, they came after us. And did she tell you what happened to him at the end?
No, but Nero did.
Yeah.
In gruesome detail. At length.
Shit, at least he was honest. Sounded like he enjoyed himself. I mean, I didn't stick around to find out because...
Well, that was smart. I'm not sure he would have been capable of distinguishing you from the ones he was playing with. He is a bit unstable.
Yeah, that's why I don't take those kind of chances. But
you do know this is a problem.
Yeah, because especially it didn't end up on the news. Well, it ended up on the news, but no word of casualties or anything.
Yeah, we had that. Some connections at the Sun made sure that was taken care of a bit.
Okay, so that was us.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
As soon as she came to me, I went to the Prince and we went into damage control mode. I'm afraid you're not going to be going on a date anytime soon with Kathy.
I understand.
She is being punished at the moment. She revealed to us that she had made a mistake on the phone.
I just wanted to make sure I just want to know that she was okay because I didn't hear anything for a couple
Damien
of minutes,
stops and he turns to look at you. I asked her if you had made a mistake. She said no. Now, I don't believe her. She's not that good a liar. But she's taking the heat for it. Suggest you remember that.
I got a pretty good memory.
As far as the Prince is concerned, it was her. Now, you know I don't like you. You're helpful. But out of loyalty to her. We'll keep this between us. I ain't worried about your boy over there. He knows when to keep his mouth shut.
Fair enough, Sheriff.
Good. Now, as for the overall fallout, we don't know yet about whether something else is going to hit. That's why she's allowed to go to Elysium. And the rest of the time, she's kept away from people.
All right.
We're watching. Got people keeping an eye on you, so you know. We'll let you know if you're followed.
All right. Out of curiosity, that whole thing I told you about, those other guys that I ran into, anything come out of that yet?
Not yet. We're going to see.
Okay.
You know, it's a busy place. It's hard to run that shit down sometimes.
I understand.
But I like Kathy. She's very helpful. I'd be very upset if something happened. I'd be less upset if something happened to Nero. But it's hands off on him.
I understand. All right. I'll be keeping an eye out on things down here. If things get, if there's anything to report, I'll make sure that it gets to you.
You do that. Make sure. Let me know if you see anything odd, because these reports I'm getting of gang fights with homeless, that bothers me a bit, because I've already went to Winnetka about it, and it's not his. That was the first thought we had, of course.
Not his homeless?
No.
And all right. I'll take a look into it, because bangers down here, at least the ones that I know, are going inside until the heat dies down. But I'm expecting the cops to roll through here any day now and just start swooping everybody up.
You know, I thought the same thing. But these aren't on my payroll. And it appears they're not on Kevin's payroll either.
Okay. So someone's got gangsters around here, gangs around here that don't report to anybody. That is, yeah, I'm
And
definitely
the cops aren't reporting either.
All right.
I don't know who they report to. I don't know who's paid these cops off. If they were under ours, we'd have done put a kibosh on this shit. This ain't the time for this city to be this kind of shenanigans, to be honest.
You're absolutely right.
We just had fucking lupine hit outside of town. We don't need this.
Thought I heard something about that. That sounds messy and complicated. And that's the last thing anybody needs right now.
You know, we got Second Inquisition fucking around. Last thing we need is anything drawing attention. Gotta let this die down a bit.
Well, then I'm going I'm going as far underground as I can.
That's smart, because
right now,
Alexis still wants to play with you.
You know, I'm gonna just go ahead and take the whole thing that we talked about and just run with it.
He grins
Just
a bit
keep
at
myself-
you. Yeah, you're not stupid, are you? I'll give you that one. Her playthings tend to end up broken eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, just not. Yeah, that's not the life I want. So
Yeah. How you doing,
all right.
Sam?
Excuse me, Sheriff.
So how you doing, Sam?
Just keeping an eye out, Sheriff. Just keeping an eye out.
Keep an eye on this one, too.
Wilco.
Well, I know you've got a busy night ahead of yourself, so I'll go ahead and get out of your hair.
You have a good one. Both of y'all. Keep your head down right now. And I'll let you know if we find out you're being followed.
Got it. Thank you. Good evening.
Nice to meet you, Sheriff. And Sam will friggin' start heading back towards the car.
And Damien just continues down the street. And the way he carries himself, you can tell he's not afraid of anything that might run up on him in these streets.
Lamar goes back to the car, gets in.
I will let you two have a scene together in the car if you wish.
Yeah. All right. Well, the whole Kathy thing is going to have to wait for a bit.
You gotta wonder, with how Nero acts, you almost gotta wonder if she's, because, you know, like from all outward appearances, it looks like he's holding her leash, right? But you gotta wonder if it's really her holding his.
See, I didn't want to think about that because the implications of that are scarier than the other way around. The other way around, you can work with that, you can deal with it, you can manipulate it. But she's the one playing the song he's dancing. Yeah, she's got an attack dog at her fingertips.
I would very highly recommend you abort and eject out of that situation.
Well, I had done that, but
yeah, and then some other plans came up. But guess what? This is you improvise, you adapt, you overcome. Okay, so now we're in the adapt phase, and very soon we're going to overcome it, and you're not going to have to deal with it anymore because you've adapted to hands off, right?
Well, she's on restriction per the prince for a while, so.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So
what else did y'all talk about? If you want to share, if not, what I don't need to know, I don't need to fucking know.
Yeah. No, she's on restriction per the prince. Damien pretty much knows, you know, the reason behind it. So for now, he's going to keep it in his back pocket, but I expect that to come up again at some very inconvenient point in the near future, because that's how things go between our kind. Otherwise, he mentioned the lupines hit some place outside of town not long ago, so I think we heard about that.
Yeah, I think that was on the news. Yeah,
but it sounds like they're playing catch up, which does not bode well if the lupines are really gearing up to take a swing at everyone.
You said that there was one of them lupines that wasn't so keen on going murder face on all of us.
That's what he said. I mean, he could have been saying anything, but he did. I mean, just based on what he said to me, sounded sincere. But I think him and anybody who feels the way he does is getting overruled by the ones who really want to scrap, because there were still two others out there looking for Zal at the time when he and I were talking.
You want to hear a funny story? So we were sent into a country that doesn't really exist anymore. Not saying that I ever had anything to do with that. The thing is the majority of the people who backed the warlord who was running the country at the time, they were all on board with the warlord and fighting the good fight and rah, 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 kill all these other people who don't agree with us. And then my team went in and, well, that's not the name of the country anymore. Let's just put it that way. But not that I had anything to do with that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So don't discount the voice of the minority in that regard. Sometimes they can be the fifth column that is needed to do the work that we need them to do. If you can find a way to meet with this cat.
All I got was a name, and even with just that, even if I could reach this guy again, the stories I've heard about these things, man, that these things are death on 4 legs or 2 legs. They're like engines of destruction,
Right. I'd rather meet with one than a whole army of them.
I'd rather not meet with one at all. I mean, they're not known for rational behavior. They could talk to you and then decide to rip your face off in the next breath. So,
well, we'll go in there with all the protection we can muster. And when I say protection, I mean shotguns loaded with silver shot.
I hope that all those stories are true.
Just saying, man, we might be the only chance this city has to stop a lupine war. And if we can stop it, what does that make us?
Big damn heroes.
I've got a 2-year fucking accountability thing hanging over my head. You are who you are. Imagine if it's the Grant and Cade show stopping a fucking lupine war. What does that put us in position to get?
Paid.
Yeah, that's right.
See, when you put it like that, it sounds good. It sounds real good.
Is the juice worth the squeeze? I mean, I got your back, man.
You know what? I appreciate that, Grant. I mean, after all the other shit, at least I know you can fight.
Yeah, that I can do. But, the Sabbat doesn't make dumb Templars and the Rangers don't make dumb Rangers. So the Brujah make dumb Brujah. I'm going to go ahead and toss that out there. I've met plenty of them. So
okay, you said it, so I didn't have to. So.
But you and I, we were raised in these streets. We know them. Yeah, and there's way too many people here that would get hurt by a fucking all-out supernatural war.
Yeah.
If we can stop it, we stand to benefit. We stand to stop a lot of innocent people from getting hurt. And who knows what the future holds after that for us. And this coterie by proxy, because, It'll get people off Lance's back, get people off Eleanor's back, get people off Jackie's back. We're big damn heroes who stopped the Lupine War with fucking honeyed words and diplomacy as opposed to silver and blood.
All right.
And we may be able to get ourselves a nice little pack of lupine we can call on that might owe us a favor.
Yeah, let's hold off on that because, like I said,
I'm just saying it's within the realm of possibility. I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to happen. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so is me getting a tan, but you know.
Yeah, I don't tan anymore. So I feel you there. Do you think the juice is worth the squeeze? Or is it at least worth an attempt?
It's worth the attempt, but let's play it real slow, real close to the chest for right now.
Got you.
All right.
So you drive off into the night. The same time you two are having this meeting with Damien. Jackie, you're at your haven. And there's a knock at the door, and Etienne actually goes over to answer it. And you hear him open a door, and then he closes and comes back. Ma'am, there's somebody here to see you. Don't recognize him.
Did they give a name?
No, ma'am. But I don't think we can refuse entry.
Fine, I get up and go.
Okay. And when Etienne goes and he opens the door, this way, sir. And the guy that steps in, short cropped black hair. He's wearing casual clothes. You'd probably just glance over him on the street. Not in that odd way that you've seen Nosferatu able to hide. But it's definitely a person who's very used to being very unassuming and unnoticeable. And when you come in the room, he nods. Colette.
I haven't gone by that name for some time. May I ask who you are?
I'm a messenger. I have brought you something.
Who is the gift from?
Someone very important. And he pulls out from, it's basically strapped to his back, under his jacket, a manila envelope, and he throws it on the table.
I look at the envelope.
The information you requested, Colette. Now, the fact I know your real name should tell you what you need to know.
Oh, it tells me much.
I've been sent also with another message. Remember your duty. The one has come.
I actually give a deep curtsy. And as I am down, I say, I always serve my duty.
We know who she is. We know who she's child of. Protect her as you wish. But the sire will fall.
Of course.
And remember your duty.
Always.
We do not hold their crimes for her.
Good.
But if she obstructs, you know the penalty.
I will advise her appropriately.
Thank you. I'm sure once this is finished, Mistress will be in touch.
Please give her my regards and respects.
Thank you. I will. Etienne, and he nods. And he just turns and walks out, shuts the door behind him. Don't even wait for Etienne to do it, leaving Jackie there. And Etienne looking confused. Ma'am, what just happened?
He was working for Lucinde.
Yes, ma'am.
And I take the manila envelope.
And inside,
open it up.
inside there's It's outlines on talking about cell structures and, 10-man teams. And there's a picture. No name with it, just a picture. And it's clipped with a paper clip that has a handler. No known location. But it's a clear picture. Looks like it's off a government ID of some kind. But you'll have more time to go through the notes, but it outlines several groups.
Yes.
You do see Society of St. Leopold mentioned. You don't see, oddly enough, you don't see a lot of federal agencies mentioned.
Interesting. And literally as I'm thumbing through it and scanning, I'm like, so they don't have the reach out here just yet. Interesting.
It seems to be a lot of people, notes about undercover, they've got people in the phone company, they've got people in some of the oddest places, Transit Authority of all things, monitoring movements.
Okay. Etienne, I'm going to review this a little bit more thoroughly in my study. Could you please place a call to Eleanor and ask her to come over and visit if she has a moment?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And Eleanor, you get a phone call.
I answer.
And you expect Jackie based on the phone number, but it's Etienne.
Oh.
Miss Eleanor.
Etienne, how are you?
I am fine, Eleanor. I was instructed by Mr. Ron to invite you to come see her.
Oh. I will be on my way.
Would you like me to send Peter with the car?
I'll have Michael take me.
Very good. I will inform her, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll be there very soon. Tell her that.
Yes, ma'am. And he gets off the phone. Jackie, Eleanor is on her way.
Thank you, Etienne.
And he leaves you to peruse your information.
I'm basically highlighting important shit. I'm underlining stuff. I'm making notes in the margins. I'm basically analyzing this dossier.
And so you know, Eleanor, you haven't felt that chill up your spine since that one time. You only felt it that once, but you felt the chill. And you arrive at Jackie's Haven, and Etienne, of course, at the door lets you in immediately.
He would escort her to the study.
She's in the study, and he takes you over and shuts the door behind you, leaving the two of you alone in the study.
Hello, Jackie.
Eleanor, and she sets her pen down. Thank you so much for coming so quickly. Please have a seat.
Yes, of course. And I move over to have a seat.
And I turn my chair to face her, and I say, well, that information I requested on Second Inquisition operations got here much sooner than I anticipated it would.
Do you have it now?
I do. I've been reviewing it.
That is terrifyingly fast.
Exactly. I know who sent it. And it's not just a capa. You see, there is one that would have taken a sealed request from a Ventru informant of Pa and opened it herself. My clan's Justica, Lucinda. She is in town.
Oh.
She is also not only Justica. This I do know. Because she has made it no secret amongst certain circles. She is the head of the Alistus.
Oh.
They know you are Dolly's child. And they have located you.
Oh. That would explain it.
Explain what, darling?
Oh, just last night I had a feeling. A cold, chill feeling, followed by nothing, and I began to suspect it was something in the web. And that would probably be it.
Well, when hunting a Malkavian that knows how to hide, you bring a Malkavian that's good at finding.
Of course. You always must have a good tracker dog to find what you're looking for.
If she only considers her people dogs, then that's shame on her. But
indeed,
I will advise you.
Yes.
As your friend. If they wish your assistance, give it.
Yes.
But ultimately,
they will ask, won't they?
They will ask. But ultimately, that is my advice to you as your friend. I am not telling you what decision to make. Your decisions are your own, Eleanor.
I understand. You have always respected my autonomy. And those of others.
Indeed.
But I will closely consider your advice.
When you make a decision, please let me know. If it is that you will comply, I will provide any assistance you need. If it is that you will not, I will try to protect you as best I can, but I cannot guarantee it will succeed.
I understand. How might I know when they come to ask?
I'm sure it will be obvious.
Oh.
So I would recommend contemplating and coming to a decision soon.
Yes, I will.
So.
Yes, I will think on this. It is not far from my mind, such related things, as you know.
I reach out and take your hand.
I hold your hand.
If you work with them, you can have your justice.
At what cost?
They thought to take a child and turn them into a monster like themselves.
Yes.
Is the price worth it? That's what you have to decide. And only you can make that decision.
Yes.
And I will respect it, no matter what it is.
Yes. I know you shall.
Very well. I am going to finish reviewing these documents before we meet as a group again.
Oh, yes.
So that I can pass it along to the others and they can also scan and possibly pick up things I miss. But I'm noticing some patterns and some things. It appears Nero actually eliminated an entire cell of operatives.
Oh, well, I certainly hope he enjoyed himself.
I'm certain he did. Appears they have a handler, though. Have a photo, but no name.
Oh.
But there are some things that I find intriguing in the dossier, so it might give us some leads.
Oh, that is excellent. And delivered so quickly.
Yes, quite expediently. That caught my attention.
Quite.
So,
well, in that case, I will leave you to your review and we'll enjoy the highlights later when we meet.
Thank you. And darling, I'm only a phone call away if you need me.
I know. And Jackie.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course. I am your friend.
I know. And you prove it every day. For 15? 16?
16 years now.
Where does the time go?
And Jackie actually gets up as you get up and she kisses both of your cheeks.
And she returns the kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will see you soon. Jackie.
Take care, darling.
I shall.
And when you go and get in your vehicle, as you're getting into the vehicle, Michael's opening the door, catch a glimpse of a person across the street. They're obviously standing where you can see them. The moment they catch you looking, they nod at you. And then they step back into the alley and disappear. Close cropped black hair. Very unassuming in nature, movements. Very disarming to see, actually. But they were obviously waiting for you to notice them.
And as they have nodded to me and begin to step back, I nod to them in turn.
They disappear in the alley. And Michael looks at you. Did I miss something?
No, you did not. I think that was a little message for me, but we can be on our way, Michael.
Yes, ma'am. Where are we going? Or you want me to just, I heard it once, you want me to just drive?
Yes. Drive for now, and I will tell you in a moment where we will go. I might need something rich and chocolatey.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He's still stumbling over trying to copy Etienne. He's not quite there yet.
You're doing so well, Michael, and I pat his cheek.
I mean, when you pat his cheek, he gets the biggest smile. And he begins to drive you around. Now, what does Eleanor do?
Well, she sits in the car for a little while, just looking out the window, thinking. And then she takes out a phone, and she texts Sam. And she sends a text that says, "Something's up. Sad face. Can you talk? ?
And Sam, you received this text about the time you and Lamar are getting back to your vehicle from seeing Damien, actually.
I look at my phone and I'm just like, well, duty calls. We'll see you, Cade.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Call me if anything comes up.
We'll cope. And I will send a text message back where and when.
I send back 20 minutes, if possible. Club roof.
OTW.
Okay. And
Heart emoji.
I will turn it over to you two because I assume I'm going to be nice and not have anything bad happen. Yet.
This time.
Yet.
Yeah, and up there on the roof, Sam has just kind of he's kind of sitting with his back up against the...
Wits awareness, Sam. Because you would have beat her there because you were being dropped off by Lamar and everything. So, plus, you have a car that goes much faster than her and Michael driving around from places. Let me see what you get. Four is pretty nice.
Wait, just wait. There we go.
You got 4 so far. Five, huh? That's a hard challenge? You keep getting glimpses out of the corner of your eye of movement that's not there when you look. A bit of your soldier's instincts tell you that this place is under observation of some kind. But whoever it is really damn good at it. Mm-hmm. Really good at it.
And when Eleanor arrives up on the roof, Sam just kind of goes like this. And he will guide her to one of the private conference rooms that's all nice and secure and decked out.
Soundproof, Faraday cage, everything.
Yeah,
yep.
All that.
Inside the wards
like
of the building?
Yeah.
Well, if I Knew that the roof would be bad news, I would have suggested a conference room.
You ever just have that feeling that you're being watched?
Oh, yes. That's part of why I wish to speak with you.
What you got, Red?
Oh, well, and she takes a seat and she has like a coffee. It's like the chocolatiest mocha. And she kind of looks at it for a minute. She says, I didn't bring you anything. I'm sorry.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
You sure?
Oh, very. Good. I'm good.
Never seen anyone react like that before.
I got used to coffee in Africa. It's fine. All this American stuff is just a little too pedestrian for me, right?
Oh, yes. I imagine that would be the case.
Yeah. So what you got, kid?
I am very possibly being followed. But it is not by someone that wishes me harm. And I thought I should tell you, since in case you were to suddenly discover these people, this person, I don't know how many there may be. Well, it would be a little complicated if there was a row. Maybe I stay. Somewhat difficult question by someone very important soon. Just a car. And I did not wish for you to come into any harm or complications, as you are so loyal in your duty for what Roscoe has asked you to do.
What? You can visibly see Sam is thinking about shit in his head. Just, all right, I gotta ask. What is it they want to know?
They will ask for my assistance in trapping my sire.
How do you feel about that?
My mind is divided. For there are things I have learned of late that I cannot abide. And yet, they have done so much for me. But by that same token, I do not know if I can believe the motive and veracity of what has come before.
Eleanor?
Yes.
You just lay it out for me.
Lay what out?
How do I phrase this? So when I died,
Mm-hmm.
I'm laying there bleeding out in the snow. And this is a third world village. They didn't have a whole lot of modern accoutrements, so the snow, right? It didn't have that sort of city snow. It was all just pure white, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And, as the sun's going down, I remember looking down and seeing my own blood just sort of pooling out in it. And that red on white, it was, well, what I thought was going to be the last thing I'd ever see. And I thought to myself, well, that's not just such a bad way to go. And then, well, and there was a sharp pain, followed by bliss. And then, and I'm sure you've experienced this yourself, absolute ravenous, mind-breaking hunger. What was that night like for you?
That is a very interesting question, Sam. I was locked away by my family in an institution, one might say today. And I was alone there and abandoned. And for a time, even the one that I later became aware of for what they really are, who then became my sire, they were my only contact with the outside. And then even for a time, they were gone. And if you know anything of these places, before the turn of the last century, you can imagine what that must have been like. And my sire did not come to me. I was summoned, and I was ready to do something absolutely terrible, for the one that I thought summoned me was a monster on their own terms and did me and others much harm. But it was that my sire had taken care of him and then offered for me to go with them out of that place. And as I am here, you can see, I said yes. And for me, it was freedom. Even that ravenous hunger, but there were others who were deserving to taste my ire. And it was well, and back then it was easier to cover such things, and my sire was very willing to help. And I thought I knew how things were then, how things stood. But I asked afterward to go see my home. And it was somewhat different. Dolly allowed it. I now begin to doubt their motives for such. But they seemed pleased to have me go see it. And my mother's spirit was still there. But there was another woman in the house, young and pretty. She was not very much older than I. And there was a baby in the cradle. And my father was grown quite old. And I stole in later in the night and went to the baby's room, which had been my nursery, and everything was changed and different. There was no sign of me. And I reached into the cradle. It was a beautiful little baby boy. And I almost devoured it. But I did not. And I replaced the baby. And I left the house because it was not that child or that woman's fault. Though it seemed to me they were replacements. And Dolly was quite wroth with me afterward. At the time, I thought it was I had done something very dangerous and would have made things so complicated. But I begin to doubt. I begin to think that it was intended that I should have devoured all of them as they slept. And gone from that place, the worse for it. There was a time my sire left me. They are like as to the wind and often go places and leave, announced or otherwise, and I was alone for a time. And when the Great War, the first Great War began, I returned to America. And I came home. And the woman that I would have done the worst injustice to had arranged that in the cemetery that I should be remembered. And that, I thought at the time, was my prize for leaving them well alone and letting the boy grow up. Even Jackie does not know some of these tales, Sam.
Want to hear from me? How did you, how'd you end up in that institution?
Well, I was quite mad.
Why?
I saw things. Terrible things. The same as I do now. And when I saw things, I was insistent and hysterical and was too much for my poor father to handle. Especially with no mother there, and the help were perhaps right to treat me as if I were covered in knives.
What did you see, Eleanor?
Everything, anything. But the worst was I saw my mother's death. That she would die in childbirth. And she did. But now the thing that begins all my doubts. She did not die in childbirth. My memory was rearranged, Sam. Something was taken out, and what was replaced is that.
How did she die, Eleanor?
My sire killed her. Disguised in that room as the doctor who was to help her.
Tell the Justicars everything they want to know.
That is too what Jackie advised me.
Do you see the thread?
Oh, yes. I see it.
Do you see the truth?
If there is such a thing as capital T truth, then yes, I see it. Do you do much reading, Sam?
I like the pictures.
I like the pictures too. Have you seen any pictures or read any of mythology?
A bit.
Do you know the Norse tale of mistletoe?
Illuminate me, Red.
Well, it is kind of an involved story, but...
Cliff's Notes.
Cliff's Notes. Odin, father of the gods, had bad dreams, and when he went to have his dreams interpreted, he learned that his son, beloved son Balder, was to die. And nobody wanted this, for everyone loved Balder. He was bright and shining and great. And so it was that Odin's wife Frigg went amongst the things in the earth and asked them for their pledge not to harm her son Balder, to leave him alone, and not bite or sting or cut. And each thing promised that they would not. For, as I say, all things loved Balder so. But Frigg made perhaps a grave error. She did not ask Mistletoe to make this promise, for indeed Mistletoe was so young and could not understand such a promise, and indeed, what could Mistletoe do? And there was a great party after all this had been effected, and all of the gods had gathered to try and see if indeed Balder could not be harmed by anything. They cut him with iron, they pelted him with stones, they burnt him with fire, and it was all great fun, for Balder was unharmed. And then Loki came to the party and found Hod sitting alone. And Hod was blind, and Loki asked Hod, "Why are you not joining in their games?" And Hod said, "Well, I'm blind. I cannot join in the games. I would not know what I would do, and I would make a fool of myself." And Loki said, "I will help you. Hold this dart and cast it at Balder the way I point you." And Hod agreed, because Hod wanted to have fun, yes? The dart was made of mistletoe. And so Loki turned Hod, pointed him towards Balder, and Hod threw the dart of mistletoe. And it caught Balder square. And he died. And Loki slipped away and led a merry chase for a time before he was captured, bound and punished with the destruction of his children, and laid to rest in eternal torment under the earth until Ragnarok.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Sam stands up, kind of crouches in front of Eleanor, puts a hand on her shoulder. You need to tell them.
I know.
I'll be there with you if you need it.
I know. to whom I can go if I need assistance. It may be something I am required to effect alone.
They got to kill me before they harm you at all.
You are loyal, Sam. And I reach out and cup his face in my hands. You are a good man.
Adjacent.
Man adjacent.
Good adjacent.
Good adjacent. There is such a Sam like you in another story.
For another time.
I will give you that book.
Red. Eleanor.
Yes.
I've said this before and I'll say it again because in this instance it bears repeating. And I believe I now know in which instance you were forged. And I thank you for that.
Of course.
You are not what your sire tried to make you to be.
You are certain.
Enough.
I believe it.
We all push our rocks, right?
Yes. I believe you. And I thank you.
And you don't owe them anything. You want to know what owe looks like? You want to know what debt looks like? You want to know what duty looks like? You're looking at it.
Yes. I recognize that now.
You don't owe them anything.
No.
And with that, I think it's a good time to go to break. As the two of them have shared a moment, a very powerful scene. And hope everyone's enjoying the first half of the finale. We will see you in 10 minutes. Enjoy the wonderful break music by Carlene, please.
Introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? She really is your bad Bathory. to destroy me. And take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured. Or how they destroyed me. For my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Authority. That sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, beautiful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? A Jabet Bathory. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in the world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul. We don't have to hide. To burrow within. Do you burrow within? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back. We've had a rather emotional first half. And for the second half, the next scene is actually going to occur about 2 nights after we just saw this coterie. Jackie at this point has had time to read, and her and Etienne have looked over the packet to get both of their perspectives. But the coterie actually has a meeting. It's time for the coterie to meet up again, because Jackie's got info. And the coterie is gathering in the club. Now, who is there first? Let's establish who's already there and who comes later. Is Lamar still staying at the club?
Yes.
So we know Lamar's there first.
Jack, you'll be there early, so she'll be there setting up and...
Okay, so I will open up with Jackie and Lamar, and the rest of the coterie can wander into scene when they're ready.
Good evening, Lamar.
Hey, Jackie, how you doing?
Fairly well. I got my information that I needed to get on the Second Inquisition.
Damn, that was fast.
Yes.
All right.
I don't expect everything I seek to come to me this quickly, but...
Yeah, I'm okay with spoilers. Give me the odds.
The odds on how quick...
give me the odds. What are the odds that you open that thing and it said, and they're all dead, and we unlive happily ever after.
Okay, well, not all of them are dead, but that was a complete cell that Nero took out.
Okay. I mean, are we still in the woods? Out of the woods? Not sure yet.
We are not sure yet. Their handler still survived. So we are going to have to track down a handler.
All right.
I'll wait for the others to get here. That way I'll actually have Etienne come in and give the brief. But the information, it's a complete dossier on their activities here. There's very little actual federal involvement out here.
Okay.
So it's mostly transit authority and other more regional agencies.
Okay, well, that's good, because if it's not a federal thing, that means they don't have
all the support.
They don't have the resources to draw on to really come after us. I mean, regional's bad enough, but it can still be nipped in the bud.
Exactly. So, how have your nights been?
Well, well enough. Spoke to Damien. Kathy's on restriction currently by order of the prince, so won't be seeing her for a bit. And otherwise, he'll let me know if I'm being followed.
So he has you watched.
Yes, absolutely. And whatever's things on the south side are definitely heating up, and like we knew they would. But
is that where you met him?
Yes.
I'm sure he loved that environment.
Well, he suggested he could have picked anywhere. He suggested it. So, but things are still picking up there, and I get the impression that the other thing is they're being caught flat-footed on because he didn't have much more information than what we heard on the news, or at least nothing that he was willing to share. So.
Oh, you're talking about the lupine?
Yeah.
Oh, I got information from Dredd on that. It was, Tyrus and that crew were out meeting with another gangrel, Anarch, to try to, negotiate a truce of sorts, an alliance of sorts.
Okay.
To unify a bit against the lupine between Anarch and Tower. The problem was, when they got to the meeting location, the lupine were already attacking the Anarch gangrel and his biker gang.
Well then, all right.
So needless to say, the wolf pack took out the lupine. At least what they could. I didn't get details as far as head counts or anything.
Okay.
But I understand that they did what they could. The gangrel, the Anarch, did survive. And some of his kind bikers perished.
Well, all right. Wonder if you're still willing to listen to that whole talk of unity after that, because I've seen stuff like that torpedo all kinds of peace talks.
It actually may, because that gangrel was saved by the wolf pack showing up.
Well then, from your lips to God's ears.
Let's hope. And if worst case, if it seems like they can't make any headway, I will offer my services to possibly liaison with the Baron if I must.
Well, that will get more done than a few bikers standing around and
I understand, but I don't wish. I don't wish to But they are archons. I don't wish to overstep. So.
Yeah, they might mess around and make you one, and then what?
Nah, we're not going to have that. I don't even want that. So.
But okay, so when everyone else gets here, at least we can go through the...
Yeah, I just don't want to repeat myself. I get really fucking tired of it.
Oh, I guess Jackie and Lamar wait until the coterie arrives. Yep. Bunch of small talk until the whole coterie gets in the room. And
Hello.
I guess we'll skip ahead to the whole coterie finally together.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. Sam will come down from the roof.
Eleanor and Roscoe walk in together because they arrived at the same time.
They did.
Perfect. Oh, excellent. You are all here. I received my information on Second Inquisition operations in the area, and I've taken a look at it. Etienne did as well. Actually, I'm going to go to the door and ask him to come in and give the brief.
Etienne steps in. We've been going over this. It appears the basic structure is 10-man teams, operated like a cell. Apparently, they've learned some lessons from the Taliban and those groups. Keep them isolated, keep them independent of each other, so that they're not compromised and the whole network doesn't go down. But each of the cells seem to have one handler per, based on the information we've got here, one handler per city that manages the cells in the city, and that's the big key to it. They seem to have a mix of people. Some work in the phone industry, some are working transit. Seems to be a number of transit people, which seems odd to me. My only guess would be that they've managed to somehow find out about us find out about you using the transit authority, using subways and the likes of that.
And the telephone companies.
Telephone companies is the big one that they've got. There also seems to be a number of, it's noted here, Order of St. Leopold. Now, I don't understand the significance of that one, but sounds religious to me. And with the church, based on the fact that none of them are government, looks like they're using the church backing for the funding, with the handler being a liaison of sorts back with the feds. That's the only way I can see this operating. They have to have a fed in here somewhere. And my guess would be the handler.
Work with the church, though. That's...
And Jackie takes out the actual file, the manila envelope. All the documents are here. I did do some mock-ups on them as I was going through. Etienne also did some, too. We did some notation on things that we noticed patterns with. And she will take out the clipped paper that has the photo on it. This is presumed to be the handler in Chicago.
And Etienne, the handler's the key. If they only use one handler to run the city as their contact point, he's the one. Getting rid of him sets everything back. They may not even know who the cells are. So removing the handler will make them start from ground zero rebuilding.
Oh, we find out who...
Hold on. Jackie?
Yes.
How good is your source?
Excellent.
You bet your life on it?
Absolutely.
Good enough for me. All right.
Well, let me be fair. My source is Jessica Lucinde of Clan Ventru.
That's a hell of a source.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I did not need to know that. I just future reference. That's the kind of shit I don't want to know.
Okay, then.
Okay. That's a whole different ball game.
What are our chances of finding this guy?
Pretty fucking good.
Pretty fucking good.
I look at fucking Bosco.
Yeah, I look at Roscoe as well. Pretty fucking good.
I smile at Roscoe.
Here's the question.
We have ourselves a regular tracker here.
Here's the question.
What?
I have my opinion on this, but I'm going to put it to the brain trust here. Kill him or turn him. Not turn him into a kindred, just
Ghouling.
Something to that effect. Get something on him to make him dance to our freaking tune.
Is there a third option that might go in concert? How long do we have to observe him? Can we trace him back to his handler?
These are all, I'm not going to say excellent ideas, but they are all decent ideas. I'm not sure about how long we have. I imagine we need to do this as expediently as we can before they can recoup their losses. Because they lost a complete cell to Nero.
So...
And Etienne speaks up at this. Losing a whole cell probably slowed him down a bit, because if it's a 10-man cell and you lose all 10 on one op, the handler doesn't even know how the op ended at first. He's got to take some time to find out what happened to that cell. Find out, did they get the target? Did they get the target and then die? He's got a gap.
No. All right.
But as far as what we do when we actually find him, let's sit on that for a moment until we find him.
I'd rather have a plan.
I get that, but we need to figure out where he is and take him down.
I personally think
ASAP.
destroying him out of hand is the best way.
Why?
He already knows too much.
So do a lot of other people.
And forgive me, it is my own...
I'm not saying yes or no. I'm merely asking
it's my
why.
own desire to make them fucking pay. They have taken things dear from me.
Okay. Do we have a dissenting opinion?
Etienne actually speaks up. From my understanding, this whole Second Inquisition thing started because somebody thought they could use the government against others, against enemies that they didn't want.
Indeed. Not one of my clan's most shining moments.
If you put a leash on a tiger,
it's still a tiger.
It's still a tiger. I know I'm not one of you, but let's just say I've been doing this.
Would you be affected by all of this?
I've been a.
Then you get a fucking say as far as I'm concerned.
I have done this a long time.
Then you get a say as far as I'm concerned.
And I have served 2 masters in my time. And I will say, this isn't one you want to try to leash. If they're onto what you are, hell, if they're onto what I am,
they need to be.
You don't want to risk it. We don't know if they can tell if we subvert somebody. We don't know if they can tell if you turn them into me. We don't know.
Right.
Roscoe, you said, is there a third option? There is. What do you think?
Well, my idea was to find out who this handler's handler is, which gives us some insight into, any other cells that are in the city or in the area.
Or other operatives.
Yes.
We will have to look into it. We will find the trail and follow it.
Yes. And that's a good place to start.
Mm-hmm. We need to find information, analyze it, and come to our decisions, and then act.
The third and fourth options are to black bag him, interrogate him until we know who he reports to, how he reports to, because then from there, when it comes time for him to send his reports up, those reports are coming from us.
That still sounds like trying to leash a tiger.
Yeah.
And
it's, follow my logic here.
I follow your logic.
Well, because that ties into the other thing is I think the best option for us to do is to hide. The Masquerade was created 500 and change years ago to hide. That's how we survive. I understand leashing a tiger, but poking a bear is also a bad option. If we kill him, there's 8 billion kind in the world. A third of those are fanatics in some form or fashion. He's replaceable. He's nothing. If we can find out some way to make it seem like Chicago is bereft of kindred, I believe that is a...
Nobody that knows about us would believe that. That's a pipe dream, Sam.
You're not wrong.
Etienne, you're onto something there, though, about blackbagging him.
Definitely we should interrogate him.
I don't think any of us here... Let me be frank with all this. I don't think any of us here have the same levels of abilities of intensive interrogation as possibly other members of this city.
We capture him and hand him over to those who can interrogate him.
I'd be willing to put money that the prince
could get some information
that he uses for this. Someone who's very good at their job of pulling information. And if they can pull it out of a kindred, no way in hell anyone close to like me can stop that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So we find him, rendition, deliver him to the prince.
That, I believe, is a good plan. But we need to find the information first. We need to find out who he is, where he goes, what he does, who he talks to. We need to find the information.
Well, he's going to have an operational playbook.
Of course he is. Once he realizes
No, I'm saying an actual physical thing that will hold data that we can take and give to the prince as an additional source of...
Absolutely.
So if we can figure out where he's got that I believe is the ultimate goal, is to get both him and his operational playbook and get that to the prince.
Yes.
Now, the first step is finding out where he is to start the trail.
Yes.
5 will get you 10. He was watching the happenings going down with Lamar, but is that, I don't know how that works. Is that trail already gone cold, or can you still pick something up from that?
It's possible the handler was remote.
Now, I will say, Roscoe, you've got a picture.
You've got a photograph.
It's just a matter of using your ritual and then crisscrossing the town until you find a point that they've been in the time frame of the ritual so that you see the trail to start.
Lamar, you said that they flashed you a badge. Did you get a good eye on it?
No, it was literally it was the fast flip, which let me know that he was on some bullshit in the first place.
So...
Considering the agencies I've seen...
You said transit authority.
Probably transit authority.
I'm willing to bet you cold, hard vitae that he's got an office in there somewhere.
Well, we'll see where the trail leads.
We just need to find out where we can pick it up at.
It's possible it's at the main phone.
Yeah, the transit authority.
It could
building.
be there, or it could be at a phone company building, or anything like that.
Eleanor, you got something?
Well, I was just looking at the photo, and it looks rather official. Don't you think?
It does. It looks like possibly from a badge,
Yeah,
maybe a government badge.
Then
Yeah, that's
canvassing perhaps any federal buildings to check for the trail.
Mm-hmm.
Might
So
be a
transit
starting-
authority and possibly federal buildings.
At the FBI headquarters, you got.
All Roscoe would have to do is drive by.
Most of those are downtown.
We can steal him. We can steal a car and go for a cruise, Roscoe. What do you say? Want to go park with me somewhere?
Yeah, let's do that.
Lamar, you get a text. It's from Tariq. Hey, boss. We need to talk him out front.
Hey, everybody, keep discussing this. I'll be back.
Just before you go, I meant to get this out a few nights ago, and I didn't get a chance to because of everything going on. Genghis left with Destiny.
Oh.
All right.
That's what I heard the other night at Elysia when I saw Kathy and Nero.
Well, then the whole thing with having to deal with Kathy has basically been.
But you do what you need to do, Lamar. I just wanted to give you the good news.
And
Thank you.
as the coteries here having their talk, we're going to put a pin on that one as the coteries still plotting and discussing with Etienne ideas. Lamar, you go out front of the club to look for Tariq. And there's a black car out front. And when you come out, a guy gets out wearing biker jacket, chains on it. You don't recognize him. Not him specifically, but you do recognize the look. Get in. I've been sent to take you for a ride.
Who are you representing? I don't just get in cars with strange people.
The Hound sent me. It's not an option. He said, get in.
I heard you. And Lamar will get into the car.
And you're actually in the car while the guy doesn't speak at all. Just drives. In the passenger seat, there was another guy just sitting there. Doesn't look back at you. They take you on the outskirts of town to a motel. Now, you know what this motel is, though you've never been there. Tally's staying at this particular motel. And when they pull up in front of one of the rooms of the motel, the two guys don't get out of the vehicle. He's waiting inside.
Thanks. And get out, and I walk towards the room in question.
When you go in the room, the only person in the room at the time is Tally. He's sitting there at a table. He's got a cell phone sitting in front of me. Hey, old boy. Tariq's safe. Don't worry. We just took his phone.
You know, actually, I'm glad that you reached out because I think it's time, and I say this with all due respect, Templar, I think it's time that we kind of cool this off a little bit.
We need to talk anyway, but just remember that statement. I picked you from all the people that I've known over the years. You had promise. But a lot of people have promise, you see, old boy. The thing is, you understand duty. You understand obligations. And you understand how important that can be, especially to Clan Lasombra. You have always done your duty and upheld your obligations. Sometimes, even the unpleasant parts you've done. Now, I've been at this longer than you. I've got my own obligations. Some of them are unpleasant. Sometimes I have to do some things I don't like doing. Unfortunately, old boy, this is going to be one of those nights. Our friend is about to come in here and speak with you. You don't have to answer her questions. She doesn't care. And when it's done, you are going to walk back to town. And you are going to tell the city. Tell your friends. Tell everyone that I was here.
You want them to know that you were here?
Yes. Because when this night is over, it's time for me to leave anyway.
I don't like where. So if I say I don't like where this is going. Who is this friend of yours?
Lily, come on in here. And out of the bathroom steps a woman. She's short, very curvy. Skin is porcelain. Her eyes are gold, though. Very odd shade of gold. Definitely not natural. She's got a cold, calculating look that you've seen from kindred who have done a lot of things that probably doesn't really endear them to being human much longer. She's got chin-length, wine red hair. She's in a knee-length wiggle dress, very tightly fit. And she gets a smile, but the smile on her face doesn't touch her eyes at all. Templarcade. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Lillian Sanger. I am the legate of Marcus Vitel. And Tally looks at you and doesn't say another word. He just steps back and sits down.
Long way from wherever Marcus Vitel hangs out these days.
Baltimore. But you knew that.
Yeah, unfortunately I did.
I have some questions for you. Now, I heard what Tally said. Answer them or not. Doesn't matter. I'm getting my answers. I want to know who Philip Carlson is. I want to know if you've ever heard the name of Nolan. I want to know who he's with. And now we're going to roll. You get to roll wit subterfuge. You can add your blood potency because you do have, it is resisting a power.
Well, he's, Lamar's like, well, I mean, easy questions. He's a Ventru. Don't really know him. Never heard of the guy. That's about it.
And you can feel
good?
a pushing in your brain as you do it.
Son of a...
Go ahead and roll your wits and subterfuge.
Checking one thing.
And I would like to thank Roscoe for not hitting me with the curse just now.
Crap.
Wait. Come on. I'll roll the first part first.
Okay. You always have trouble getting it to roll right. 3, not bad. Not bad. 3 successes so far. 6 successes. You got 3 dice you could willpower if you wish.
You know what? Yes, I will willpower.
Go ahead. And we shall see what we get. Do you have 6 successes? She got 13.
All right.
Thank you with a critical. Thank you for not cursing my dice. And there's no subtlety to what you feel in your head. None at all. It is just an overwhelming feeling of your head being rifled like a Rolodex.
Get the fuck out.
She just smiles. Tell me, does he have any friends with him? Does he have bodyguards?
I don't know. I've seen him all of once.
Are there any others of his kind in this city?
There are plenty of Ventrue in this town.
And she smiles. Lucinde. And Tally's head whips over. Lucinde is in the town. Interesting. That's for you, Tally, not me.
I don't know anything about Lucinde.
You've given me everything I need. I'll be outside, Tally. I'll be at the car. And she just walks out cold. And you can feel the presence in your head, that pushing kind of relax, like that grip that was holding your brain let go. I told you, obligations. Give me your phone.
He puts it on the table.
You can tell them all about me. Tell them whatever you wish. Reveal anything you wish. I still think you need to join the Camarilla. It's for the good of the clan. But some debts must be repaid, and I have to repay mine.
So does this make you and Vitel square now or something?
Not even close. But it balances the ledger a little bit more than it was.
You set me the fuck up.
You understand obligation. You know why I had to do it.
Yeah, I get it. Doesn't make it sting any less. Just gonna put that
Never
out there.
does,
Does Sierra
does it?
even know you're here?
Sarah knows I'm in town.
She know you're leaving?
No.
Oh, so I get to deliver that too.
No, don't. Or do it. It's up to you. Do whatever you think you have to do to keep your place. Stay in this city. And do what you feel you have to do for the clan. You do your duty. And your obligations. You understand, old son? And I do mean son in some ways.
Yeah, I get it. And an actual blood tear, like actually slips from Lamar's eye.
And he comes over to you and he actually claps you on the shoulder with one hand. It's hard, but we do what we must. One thing the Nosferatu got right, didn't they?
Yeah. You might want to get in that car and go because it's about a half hour back. So you might want to be out of town by then. You might want to take her with you because I ever see her again and she's going to start a shotgun.
I'm sure she'd love the challenge. You know, Miss Sanger's an interesting one. She was Cam till they cast her aside. And now she works for Vitel.
You know that guy's leading us all straight down the toilet, right?
He has a different plan. I don't always agree with it. But there's some forces out there that you don't fail to repay debts. And when it comes to that man, that thing, let's just say you don't want him owing you in a negative way. As you're going to find out when the news of what happened tonight gets out.
Look, this Carlson guy, I don't know why she cares about him, but he's nobody.
He's an Archon. He was part of the group who took down Vitel. Marcus does not forget. And he does not forgive.
Lamar turns and he bolts from the room.
And you hear Tally just kind of, I'll be in touch one day, old boy. And you hear the car start up and drive away. And it takes you about a half hour. Get back to town. And I'm going to turn this back over to the coterie who's been plotting, and Lamar can enter the scene when he arrives at the club.
So, Roscoe, I have certainty that you are going to be able to track this guy.
Yes.
Because I will say you impressed the absolute shit out of me with finding Lodin's people.
I will begin.
And I got a question. Does Lamar walk in the room, run in the room?
Like as soon as he gets it, like he throws the door open. All hands on deck, Jackie. That Philip guy, your buddy Philip. How often do you see him? Is he in town? Do you know where he is tonight?
Yes. Why?
We need to go. We need to go and find him right now, or he's dead, and I mean dead. Final dead.
How do you know this?
Talk on the way to the car.
And you get Sam from the roof, I assume.
Yes.
Sam, you saw Lamar.
Sam was in the room.
Oh,
Sam
you
was
were still in the room?
We were, yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Etienne's out, still in the room, ma'am.
Let's
I'm
go.
going to follow in my car.
Okay.
Okay. And so Etienne gets in the car, and not like his normal driving. He's driving much faster. And I'm going to turn it over to the four that are together in the car while Sam follows. Yes, Eleanor.
I would like to premonition.
Okay. Oh. I assume I assume you're doing a premonition.
Those are like the worst 4 words ever.
I assume your premonition, you're focusing on the events that are going on now to see with that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. I need to get my resolve and aspects. Oh, I have a lot of aspects now, don't I? Okay.
Don't forget your blood potency.
I did not forget that. Thank you for reminding me. Ooh, I'm going to willpower, but clearly...
Wow. I guess Roscoe's curse came to you.
Wow.
The gods are like, no.
Yeah, 9 dice,
You
one
don't get
success.
to see anything.
No.
9 dice, 2 successes.
Oh, God.
All you see. You do manage to get a vision. You do manage to pull something. All you see is a flaming scepter and a black rose. That's it. And then your vision comes right back.
Oh, it's very bad.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
What is it, Eleanor?
A flaming scepter and a black rose.
Lamar, start talking.
That text I got, I thought it was from one of my guys. Turns out it was Tally summoning me to a meeting.
Tally?
Tally, yeah. And when I got there, he had someone by the name of Lillian Sanger with him.
I know her.
Yeah, out of Baltimore, right? Yeah, works for Vitel.
DC, but I guess Baltimore now.
Well, yeah, she she decided to rifle through my head. She asked me about Philip, and I met him. I only knew about him, I saw him that one time, and then she wanted to know if he had bodyguards or friends or anything, and I was like, their events were all over this town, so fuck did that mean? And then I'm like, you're going to a lot of trouble for some random guy, and apparently he was on the team that took out that supposedly took out Vitel years ago.
And at that, you actually feel the car speed up a little.
Do you think she got everything out of you?
I don't know. She pancaked my fucking brain. I wasn't trying to give her anything, but
no, it's she got.
I've never had my brain violated like that before. I've hung out with fucking Zamitzi.
Hold a moment, Lamar. Roscoe, what do you know of this woman?
So you know, Roscoe, about considering your timeline, you would know about up to the time she left the city, though you weren't part of the DC Chronicle as Roscoe. You were a member of the Chantry, just not one that was...
out and about.
Because your sire was missing, you were kind of out of it.
I am kind of drawing a blank as to how to relate it, in this chronicle.
Oh, that's up to you. I mean, you know the basics of why she was put out of the city, because she, it wasn't a secret.
She was instrumental in taking down the prince of the city at the time, Stanford. I am literally not.
She was exiled for blackmailing a prince to protect Toreador. She ran a succubus club. And from what you understand, she was a shrewd maneuverer behind the scenes. You knew she went to Baltimore, but that's the last you heard of her.
And I relay that
thank you.
to Jackie. I didn't know if you were waiting for me to say something.
Yeah, I was. I was waiting for you to put it in your own words or something. Okay. So she ran a succubus club?
Yes.
And it wasn't burned down?
No. She is a distant relation of Helena.
Fucking hell. Okay. Lamar, one question. You said Tally summoned you to meet with him. How often does he do that? You're muted.
It's a real rare thing.
But it
elaborate.
Happened before?
Yeah. See, Tally was the guy that actually gave me that actually selected me to come join this little mission to join the Camarilla.
That's an interesting piece of information we didn't know.
Yeah, well, saying that, hey, the one of the Zabat's top hitters, suggested I come join the Camarilla. Sounded like a really good way to not start any networking.
He is your Mullah?
Yeah.
Philip is mine. Philip Carlson is Nolan Wilhelm, my sire.
He said the name. No, he said his name was Nolan.
Nolan
and he
Wilhelm.
said he was an Archon.
Archon.
I was wrong.
You weren't wrong.
No, I was wrong. I interpreted it wrong. I saw Lamar bound in chains, and I interpreted it wrong.
It's okay, darling. No one is perfect. Lord knows I could sell off half my flaws and never have to open a business again. It is okay, darling. Fucking hell.
This isn't what I wanted, Jackie. We get there, we take out Sanger, and then maybe if we mob Tally hard enough all at once, we got a shot at dropping him. We get one. But neither of them are very attached to.
He wanted you to tell us, didn't he?
Oh, he doesn't give a shit now, apparently.
He wants to be hunted. Oh, I will deliver exactly what he wants. I will give him exactly what he wants. I will notify everyone of him. And that fucking whore working for Vitel. They will be hunted to the ends of the fucking earth.
They're going to run back to him, you know.
I know they are. And that's going to be the only thing that saves them for now. Because Vitel will fucking let Baltimore turn into a giant masquerade breach instead of letting the tower in. But eternity is a long time. Mistakes get made all the time.
And you are pulling up outside the hotel. It's a 4-star hotel or 5-star hotel. Very nice.
It's a Sofitel downtown.
Mm-hmm. Very nice place. And Sam, you've been following the whole time. Didn't see anybody. Looks like you weren't followed. Not that you could tell. And Etienne pulls up, not to the valet spot because he is the valet. Ma'am, you want me to go in?
Yes.
Okay, Peter
can stay with the car.
Yes, ma'am. And you see him getting out of the car. And Etienne looks over at you. Seems to be waiting.
We all get out of the car.
He seems to be waiting for Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Sam is rifling through his trunk, and once he's done with that, he closes the trunk. He's wearing, his usual Chuck Taylor's jeans, but he's got that coat on again.
So he's armed.
And
oh yeah.
To the teeth.
And as the coterie approaches the doorman.
You could say that.
The doorman opens the door to allow you in.
Mm-hmm. He recognizes me.
Mm-hmm. And
where am I going, Jackie?
You go through
We're going to the penthouse.
You go through the lobby.
I have a key card.
And Jackie
when we get up there, y'all let me clear the room.
And
get in the elevator and you ride up. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a short scene if you wish as you're riding the elevator because it's a tall building.
Sam, short version. Tally and a Toreador from Baltimore are coming to kill my sire tonight. My sire is Philip Carlson, who is an Archon of the Camarilla, one who ended up taking down Vitel in 1999. I had warned Philip to get the hell out of the city, and he told me he would take it under advisement and make plans.
Well, we're about to find out if you listened.
Indeed.
So, right now, tell me, what powers are people activating as they're riding up the elevator, if they're activating any? Now's the time to say it. And roll some rouse. What are you using?
Clairvoyance.
Okay, that's a good one. Rouse check for Eleanor. Damn, Sam. Oh. Double hunger.
Look.
Damn.
I need to look at my sheet.
Jackie rouse for toughness, just in case.
I'm hungry.
Everyone's beast is...
Mm-hmm. Okay, Jackie's beast is not fucking happy right now.
Wow.
Well,
Let's wait to see if Lamar's doing any of his. He may not. I don't know. Everyone else has failed their roll for their rouse checks.
Yeah, there's
Everybody's failing rouse checks.
Sam's going in at 4 hunger.
Nice.
Sam,
this is gonna go.
the only thing you get
brilliantly.
out of your beast is a snarl. You've heard it before. It's that same, that first night, same snarl you heard from your own sire.
I look at Sam and I say, "Do not eat my ghoul."
His eyes are just bloodshot. He doesn't have like gleam of red eyes, but his eyes are fucking bloodshot.
Jackie, your sire or your beast speaks in your head. She was right. The horse will fall. And you let it happen.
I tried to prevent it. If it happens, it's his own fucking fault.
You failed. Eleanor hears Dolly's voice. Child, embrace what you are. Embrace who you are. Take your rightful place. Do not be like the others.
I know my place.
Roscoe. Even you have your beast speaking. And it's the demon in your head. The sins of the father to the child. Your line is cursed. Everything will turn to ashes. So what powers did people activate? We got toughness,
prowess, fist of Cain.
and we got clairvoyance coming from
And we've got
Eleanor.
Clairvoyance coming right up.
So we'll have her roll that.
Scorpion's touch from Lamar. So he's
He's the only one who passed his rouse check too. 4 successes. Are you going to
I'm going to willpower.
Okay.
Oop.
You can willpower
Maybe
2
I'll
of the
get
dice.
lucky.
And you get, oh, nice, 6. As you're riding the elevator, you pull your vision away. Shoot it up. You see the shaft of the elevator, the whole thing pass behind you. And when you reach the top for the penthouse, your vision emerges in carnage. There is blood all over the room. Everywhere. Gotta make a roll here real quick. Blood splattered. And there's a pile of ash. You can see it. It's actually underneath a table. Just barely a bit of ash from the side where the table had been flipped over as the furniture in this room was tossed and turned, damaged. And the whole penthouse is wrecked. Whatever went on in here was not contained to one little area. A fight was put up. But there is ash. You don't see anybody else up there. Not a moving thing at all.
I'm sorry.
I was going to ask if I could tell how long ago this had happened.
The blood looked fresh. It's not been an hour. Not yet.
I draw back into myself. Brace yourselves for what lies ahead.
Again, I say all of you stay here until I clear the room. Roger?
Roger.
Roger.
Understood.
When the elevator doors open, the first one out is Sam. Sam, wits awareness. But everyone from even the elevator can see the blood, the viscera. It looks as if somebody was taken apart and splattered around the room.
I did hand him my key card as he left the elevator.
I assume people are there with their hand on the open close button in case they need to use it.
Yeah.
I assume Sam with 2 successes is going to be rolling a willpower check to up it. 3 successes. Sam, you step out the elevator. There's not a noise, not a sound. The amount of blood and everything you see spread through this trashed penthouse. And I do mean trash. The couch is destroyed, the tables, the chairs. The amount of blood, you estimate it's 1 person. But this 1 person was thoroughly wrung of every ounce of blood that you could have possibly gotten out of it.
Yeah, Sam exits the elevator with a shotgun, and he's just going through the room. Once he's, done everything to.
Hey, Sam, willpower check.
Yeah,
please.
I saw that. Yep.
Willpower check. Hunger 4. That's enough.
Oh yeah, I'm
4
good.
successes on your willpower to avoid the fresher blood as at Hunger 4.
But it's not a critical, so I got to take a moment. I'm just like.
And you can feel it gnawing at you. It's urging you. It wants you to drink, wants you to eat.
And I'm going through the room. Once I'm reasonably certain that the room is bereft of people, I'm gonna announce clear.
It looks like at some point somebody was thrown through one of the doors to the bedrooms.
Yeah, I'm
But
clearing
you
that
see
too.
no people.
I mean, when I say the room, I mean the whole penthouse.
Yeah, you see no people.
Lamar
Clear.
looks around.
Jackie's the first one going in after Sam when he says clear.
Then Lamar will go in after Jackie.
And Jackie, you don't recognize the body that's in this room is unrecognizable, other than the clothes. And you know the clothes.
Lucian.
That's correct. Nolan's ghoul.
Lamar.
Now, does Eleanor tell Jackie where the ashes were?
Yeah. After she hangs back, but once everybody's kind of stepped out, she'll step forward and she'll touch
I'm rousing
Jackie's arm.
to add a surge to my wits awareness.
Yep.
She touches Jackie's arm and kind of draws her attention to where the ash is.
I'm willpowering.
Four successes. Nice. As Eleanor points you towards where she saw ashes, and as you get closer, and you see the ashes there, you hear a tap on the balcony window. Or the balcony door leads out.
She barely moves her head, and she looks.
Looking back in through this balcony door is a white-haired man with a brand. And he's smiling. He blows you a kiss.
And she just stares at him.
And then he disappears. You see him half turn, and then he's not there anymore.
He is a cocky son of a bitch, isn't he?
Yeah.
Tally was right outside.
Yeah, Sam friggin' goes and clears the balcony.
It's empty.
He's gone.
In the dark of the night, you don't know where he
just
could have
had to
gone.
taunt me by blowing a fucking kiss at me.
And at this point, Sam is about 6 feet away from Lamar. What the hell?
Fulfilling an obligation, he said.
Jackie's got her phone to her ear. She's calling Dread.
Okay.
So when we had this
and
talk
she's
the other
walking
night,
to the bedroom to have a private conversation away so that...
Yeah, I will let the rest of the coterie have a brief scene, and then we'll handle the phone call, and we'll go from there.
so when we were talking about when Eleanor had her little vision there, you didn't bring up that he might be in town, anything like that.
No, because I didn't know he was. He came and went.
Why is he summoning you?
Because he's my Mala.
The shotgun is leveled at him. If I see one fucking thing get darker in here, this thing's going off. Explain to me why I don't pull this trigger right fucking now, Lamar.
Because shooting me isn't going to change anything, Sam.
It'll make me feel a whole hell of a lot better.
Jackie looks over her shoulder. Lower your weapons, Sam.
You got the door closed.
No,
what
I didn't
door?
close the door.
What door?
The doors are gone.
Yeah, that door.
Oh, yeah.
She went to
I
the
just
bedroom.
moved far enough so that when he picked up, it's not going to...
Yeah, the bedroom door was knocked off the hinges. Somebody went through it.
And you weren't here for when I explained to everyone else that he tricked me too. And brought someone to rifle through my head for all the information he got tonight to ambush Philip.
Jackie, we'll pause right here. Phone rings. Jackie, what's up?
You and your boys and girl need to come to the Sofitel downtown. Penthouse.
Important? Okay, that's the first time I've heard you pause considering something.
I need to find the right words. Someone of your rank who reports to Juliet has fallen this night.
Shit. Fuck. Okay. We're not coming alone.
Bring anyone. The perpetrator's gone now.
Boss was meeting with somebody big.
Okay.
And we return back to the final part of this episode.
Sam, without looking at him, I should say, just says, Roscoe, what do you want?
I was there when he explained what happened. I know Lily Sanger from DC.
Lily did this?
Yes.
Oh, you know her too.
The barrel dips.
Yeah, he's telling the truth. She took everything from him.
Cool. All right.
No, not cool. Not fucking cool at all.
Lamar, when you say that you did not want this, I believe you.
Jackie actually goes to a hidden safe that she knows is in this penthouse. Opens it because she knows the combination. And removes some documents that she places in her bag.
And as Jackie's doing this, and the coterie is waiting in the scene, I think this is where we end Season 3 of Windy City After Dark with Lamar finding out explicitly that sometimes the chains of obligation get hooks in you in the worst ways. And Eleanor's vision, as normal for her, was a true vision. And I suspect Jackie knows exactly who was meeting with Tyrus this night. And I would like to thank my players for Season 3, the viewers for Season 3, and be ready for some content in between seasons. We've got some intermissions come up, and I have a feeling you're going to see what went down in this hotel room. So, for the viewer vote, everybody, everyone gets viewer vote XP because the viewers have spoken. So for this episode, you get the viewer vote, and because it's the end of the season, you get an additional XP. Into season XP, we have finished a chapter of the story. I hope everyone has enjoyed what amounts to our Empire Strikes Back season, where the worst things that could happen have happened. And I don't know if this coterie will be the same, but I guess we're going to find out. Please pop onto the Discord, give us your viewer vote on who deserves XP for this episode. For any reason, every reason, no reason, whatever. Please vote on that. We will reveal who gets another XP during our Q&A, which we will come to it a little bit here. If you like what we're doing here on Twitch, give us a follow. If you really like what we're doing, want to support Studio, give us a subscribe. If you want to support the players and show your love to these players, bits and donations go only to the players, not to the storyteller. So if you want to get, or the wife of the storyteller, she don't even get the bits and donations. So if you want to give back to the players, please, bits and donations go to the players. Check over here. We've got a list of friends we like. They put out good content. Go check them out. We've got merch. Get your Season 3 merch, because I don't know what Season 4 merch is going to look like. But
because we have a new player who's going to be joining us at a dramatically appropriate time in Season 4. That is Ivy Raven.
And congratulations, Ivy Raven, for being our newest member of the cast. If you want to catch our back episodes, check out YouTube. I will say in the intervening time between now and Season 4, there will be a summary episode where your boy Twitch will give you the summary of this season. And sometimes he sneaks some spoilers in. There will be an intermission episode. And, of course, our cast Q&A. And then there's a special, different kind of episode plan that's not part of Windy City. And we'll be announcing the date on it, but we are going to do my version of Session Zero with multiple people on stream live so that we can show people, before we did it with one person, to show it how it works in a multi-person format. And when it's not got a garish red background, it makes you want to gouge your own eyes out. So for all those on our Discord, join the Discord, trust me, that had theories about what that vision was. You know if you were right or not, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the way things often happen, Eleanor saw a vision of Lamar wrapped in chains with hooks in him. And it applies in more than one case.
It does.
The question is, where else does Eleanor's vision apply? So I'm going to turn this over to my wife so she can give the schedule.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us for our Season 3 finale of Windy City After Dark. Coming up over the next week, we have on Tuesday, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Phoenix's Call at 8 p.m. Eastern, run by Ravenna. That's actually going to be Episode 5, as I haven't seen Episode 4 yet because we record this the night before that streams. I have no idea what they're doing right at this moment, but you need to check it out. It is set in Cody, Wyoming in 1996, and it's amazing and crazy and a little scary and awesome. And then on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we have a London Esoteric Society. That is our Call of Cthulhu 7E stream run by GM Tiss. And she is amazing. She runs that at 3 p.m. Eastern. You want to tune in for that. It's amazing cult stuff, insanity everywhere. It's nuts.
They read the books.
They read the books. You're supposed to burn all the books.
Call of Cthulhu, they read the books.
And then, of course, on Sunday, we will actually be back for our live cast Q&A for Windy City After Dark, where you, the viewers, get to ask us questions live on Twitch and we will answer them. So if you have burning questions about our characters or plots or anything like that, come and talk to us about that on Sunday the 15th at 5 p.m. Eastern.
And seriously, make the Q&A, because it's not just you asking questions. It's where the cast also asks questions of each other, and we really give our inside feelings about how the season played out. And you'll get to talk to Mickey a bit about how he feels his first season with this cast went. And it'll be,
you know what I did with me sticking a shotgun on one of my coterie mates' faces? It went great.
You know, it was a real reaction.
May I make a recommendation? We put a channel up in the Discord so that we don't merely rely on chat. They can post questions in the Discord for us to answer when we slow down and
you
chat.
take that up with the Discord mistress. That is not me. I don't run the Discord. I'm the tech guy, and I do the storyteller shit and buy nice hats. That's what I do. If you subscribe to the channel, you're funding my hats. That's what I'm going to say. And everyone, mental health, it's no joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take mental health seriously. Check in on those around you. Check in on loved ones. Check on people you like, even people you don't like. Please try to reach out to them, because people are hurting right now, and you might be able to be that lifeline they need to pull them off the edge or to help them out. And if you do suffer from mental health issues, like many of us do, please, right now in chat, there's a list of numbers that you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to speak with somebody who won't judge. They are there just to help, and they will help you. And if you are one of our viewers that are from another country than the U.S., there's a website you can go to right there in chat that will link you to all the support in your country, so that we can make sure that people get support, because mental health's no joke, everybody. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. We all have problems. We all need help sometimes. And now I'm going to turn this over to my lovely wife before I say one more thing before we end the season.
So, I've said this now multiple times, and I'm going to say it again. I am Mama McStabber, your friendliest mean nurse you'll ever meet, telling you to go get your COVID vaccine. If you have not done so already, please go do it if you can. If you are concerned about side effects or other issues with it, reach out to medical providers for, and ask them questions about it. Please get the information. Find out for yourself from legitimate sources, not freaking clickbait sites and stuff like that. Go get your COVID vaccine, because legit, this Delta variant is killing unvaccinated people. You need to go get your vaccine.
The side effects of not getting your vaccine
is death.
Not on everybody, but if I give you 100 M&Ms and say one of them's poisoned, are you going to eat the 100 M&Ms? That should tell you.
Yeah.
That simple.
So please go give a shit and get a shot.
Yep. And as storyteller, I thank my amazing cast for this season. It's been a tense season. It's been hard on all of them at times, but I thank them, and I thank all of you viewers again for coming in each week and watching this. Without the viewers and without the community, this wouldn't be what we're doing. This wouldn't be possible. And we love you all, and I look forward to season 4. I promise I'm going to try to be a little bit less vicious in season 4. I got to give them a little bit of tension easing before I break them all. But I do thank you all for coming, and I thank my amazing cast for this season. Thank you, everyone. And good night.